I've learned that two minds are better than one, three minds are better than two, and it's the accumulation of ideas that really help me to develop as a person, as an educator, as a teacher, and I just try and get as good as I can by learning from others.
And the more people you have, the more ideas, and you may have people that you run into that don't agree with you, and that's good. That's actually good. It's changing your viewpoint and their viewpoint, and it's creating good discussion.
I think what I've learned over 5 years, almost 6 now, is the limitless amount of information that's available requires a level of discrimination and selection. Whenever I approach any of my networks, I'm always thinking about what's in it for the staff here and ultimately the students. What are the things that are going to be most beneficial here to contribute towards a more meaningful learning environment? Usually once a week I try to dedicate what I'll call delicious time, which is really just about 30 minutes, usually on the weekend after my children go to sleep, where I root through all the things that I've tagged over the course of a week and reconsider them and determine how I want to use them or if I don't want to use them. And what I've learned is when it comes to my personal learning networks, one of the best things about them is that they don't take my absence personally. As much as it's a personal learning network, they're okay when I'm not involved, and I know that I'm okay. I've learned that when I'm at my son's soccer game on the weekends, my phone is off.
If I were giving a tip to somebody who was just starting out, it would be to follow somebody else with whom they have an intersection of interests. For each of those passions of yours, there's somebody who's out there already doing it. And so follow who they follow, or just follow their stream, and they've already done all that legwork for you. So I would start with Twitter. I'd peek at Scoop It, and I'd peek at Paperly, and I'd follow other people's Diigo or Delicious links for now.
Contributing is just as important as consuming. You have to be able to participate in that, and so you become a living component within that environment, so that other people know who you are. They can call on you for that information. I also use social bookmarking as a way of communicating and getting lots of great information too. And by setting up groups, you can then follow what those groups are publishing and what other people are finding as well. So by participating and being in that, you're sharing what you find for the better good of the community. Be very selective with who you follow. I tell people, I'm not one that follows somebody that says I'm taking the dog to the groomer, or I'm going to the grocery store, or I'm here or there. I look to follow who are the professional educational leaders in the fields in which you have an interest in. Look to find out who they are and see if they have a Twitter account. Follow those people. Become associated with them. Start communicating with them. Build that relationship between each other. So that they also follow you and you follow them, and you can get information back and forth. And because when you're building a personal learning network, it's not all one way. It has to be a two-way street. It's give and take.
And I think once you get on Twitter, you need to follow 3 or 4 people to get started. And within a week, you'll follow 20 more people, and you'll have a constant wave of really meaningful resources washing upon your shore, and I don't think you'll ever be the same.
I really think this is one of the most important things for teachers to agree, because we're all working separately so hard by ourselves. If we can create a personal learning network, our jobs become easier and we don't have to recreate the wheel. And not only that, but now we're using collaborative tools, collaborative things that our students are going to be able to do in their careers. So it's a great model for our students to follow it.
Network. I think you have to find the network that you feel comfortable using. Some people are not good with Twitter because they feel like it constricts their thinking to be able to chop it to 140 characters. So I think you find one, and I think it's as simple as doing a Google search, because there's so many out there, and many of them are subject area specific or content specific, where you can link up with people really around the world. And once you find the one you like, build that one. And so I began to build my own personal learning network by seeking out others' networks and looking for interesting people, and then added them. So it's about just thinking outside the black lines and reaching out to people that you really don't know, because what I've found over the years that we're all in a constant state of flux, and we're all in a constant state of learning, and so people are very kind and gracious when you reach out to them on areas of common interest. So jump in. The water's fine. Jump in.